Hello to all my friends out there. Well, we had a lot of clouds, and Sunday we're supposed to get a lot of rain, and it looks like we're not getting any rain. All the clouds are pretty much gone, but they could return, which is good news for, see those people in the tents? Last time it beat their tents down to nothing. It was really, really bad. So, we have a lot of homeless. You can technically live on the sidewalks, live legally in a tent, but you're really not supposed to be parking cars, although Walmart does allow it. Out here, I don't know if that's safe because we have so many homeless. They count people living in motels as homeless and cars as homeless, but it's not exactly the same. So, okay, so let's see. We went over the power grid failure, and I will be buying a few things. I don't know about spending my stimulus. I don't know about that. That gives me the creeps. My son is having to buy a new car because his wife's car just got, it's done, You hang on as long as you can, and finally one day you've got to buy a new car. And so this car, he bought this at La Mesa Corolla, for if you guys need a car, and got such a good deal. So we calls them up and they go, well, oh, you got your stimulus? Not exactly. But I think at this time it is a mistake to spend your cash. So, okay, so preparations for the power grid failure. We could get that because we get the fires. Weather events, bad weather events. The grand solar minimum. I think that's what we're seeing with all this snow. It's supposed to last 11 years. I could see it though lasting 20, 50, who knows? Okay, water emergencies. So, I was going around. What I like to do is address things as they come up. Okay, if the power goes out, I'm not going to lose that much money if I lose my whole freezer. I got a fireplace. I moved to a safer area. I've been doing this thing, what I've been doing is I try to stay out of my car all day, and I've been doing this thing where I go to nicer areas. That means when I shop and I spend my dollar, they're nice. That's why I like that Walmart in Grossmont Center. Okay, so now what are we looking for? Well, there is a looming problem I can see. Increase in beef prices. Okay, what happened is somehow the beef industry has been centralized into 4 portions, basically. And last year, 1 portion went out due to the COVID. But if all 4 or 2 or 3 went out, it would be a big problem, and that would affect our beef products. Okay, Americans mainly buy, look, here's a car you can live in. See that station wagon? Oh, it looks like it's from another state. We're seeing a lot of that here. Anyway, Americans, generally, the most beef they consume is hamburger. I think that's pretty true in my case. But the problem is that also includes milk, cheese, and butter. So, that could be a big problem if the price of that starts going up. So when I find it at a good price, I will buy a lot. So when I went to the pantry, and I went to the food bank when I was sick that time. And at the pantry, I noticed when they gave us meat, I can't remember where it was from, but all of it had the big stickers 50% off. So I realized, and it was on, I think it was offered, you could go to the pantry 2 times a week. You were supposed to go 1 time a week, Tuesday and Thursday. So that seems to indicate that meat was Monday and Wednesday. But what I do when I shop for markdowns is I just drop by every day. Like I'm right across the street from that Walmart where I get a bunch of good stuff. This Walmart's pretty good too because it has tons of self-checkout. So like even if there's like if you have, so does Grossmont Center one, if you have like 10 checkouts, 10 people are literally checking out at one time. It moves through pretty fast. The problem is that's eliminating a lot of checkers. I tried to resist that, but you know, standing in line during the COVID, okay, it's spring break and it's scary what's happening. They'll be coming home with the COVID. Okay, so I noticed there was 50% off stickers on the meat that they would give us. So I thought, wow, I'm going to start pursuing 50% off meat. I am actually parked in the shade, but the sun's still hitting me on this one side. And so what I did is I just started shopping all the time for marked down meat. Okay, so the main meats I buy are chicken, and Walmart has these $5 bags of chicken legs. I think I'm going to buy 1 or 2 of those. Hamburger, I'm going to buy patties since there's just one of me. Usually I would eat about, I'll try to find 1/3 pound patties. Walmart has a $10 box part soy, but I really don't like to eat soy that much because when I was going to the Adventist church, a lot of them are vegetarian, but they became allergic to soy, which could be bad. Soy reminds me of Soylent Green. That is creepy. I don't know about that stuff. Okay. And then bacon ends. So I usually buy the trays of bacon ends at Albertsons, but since I bought $5 worth of stock at Kroger, I'm trying to switch over and shop at Food for Less. I'm sure they have all this stuff. My company. Okay, and then I heard something, and this was kind of a bad thing. People are not able to get parts for their big trucks. So, you know, it's like a fake truck parts shortage, a fake toilet paper shortage. So, but it puts a person in, now these fake shortages just happen to happen when people are getting their stimulus. And so you got to get to work. So what do? You freak out and you buy a new car. Not so quick. I would hang on. And then what if they get your truck cheap? That's super sickening too. When I moved that time, I lost one of my vehicles, which was super sickening too. But the person who got it really needed it. I gave it to him and I probably got a million gazillion blessings. Nonetheless, it was super sickening. Okay, now I want to talk to you about canned fruit and canned vegetables. I did videos when I first started buy the big size. So you might be thinking, I don't want to buy the big size. Well, if you buy the big size for $1 of cans, you're less likely to run out of food. Okay, with the peaches, I had peaches with cottage cheese, and then I made the peach cobbler. So the canned fruit, I'll show you the size can. I brought a couple to demonstrate. These are not so good for the car. If I was living in a car, I wouldn't want leftovers. I'm still working on the car food. It's not that easy. As anybody who's ever lived in a car can probably tell you. Okay, this size can. When you can get these for $1, you want to get this size can. So I can find all the time, and fruit is something that's probably going to go. Also, I noticed this is why I was thinking about the beef. Was trying to find cream cheese, cottage cheese, and sour cream, you know, because I eat a lot of dip at night. What I do is, like, I'm in my car all day and then I go home and then I drink Diet Coke and I eat chips and dip a lot. And I enjoy the hell out of it, and I'm not going to stop either. So I was at Walmart, and the shelves are very scanty on dairy. and very scanty fresh fruit and vegetables. So you always want to store up these cans because you never know. They might come up with a fake shortage, but what would be worse is a real shortage. So the large cans of peaches, pears, fruit cocktail, and pineapple, I can always find that. When you really need stuff, what you do is you freak out and you buy a case. But if you carefully shop, buying 1 or 2 cans of these big cans and then eating them down, like pineapple, pineapple and cottage cheese, pineapple upside down cake. Pears are very delicious with pies. What I like to do on a pear pie, I may make one tonight. I might make a pie. No, I still have fruit cocktail, but that's not the point. I'll tell you a very delicious peach. My family was big on pears. Okay, you have your pears and you drain them, your big can, and then you layer your pears on your pie crust. 1 big can of pears, though, will probably make 2 pies. And you can eat pears. There's lots of things you can make. I'm going to be making some, but you layer your pears and then you sprinkle sugar. I'm like that old lady. Sugar, flour, nutmeg, a lot of nutmeg, and dot with butter, and you layer it on up and you put the top crust on and you bake. And that's going to give you, in a peach pie would be cinnamon. So flour, sugar, cinnamon. For pear is nutmeg, and that is very delicious. So, okay, so canned fruit. Okay, now for canned vegetables. Large cans, same thing. When you're at the store and you see them, you want to pick up 1 or 2. Green beans. What I make with green beans is green beans with bacon, or green bean casserole, or I make one, once you get a few recipes, if you have a big can, it's no problem. I make hamburger pies. I just make hamburger with tomato soup, and I put green beans, and then I put mashed potatoes on top, and I bake it. Or green beans and bacon, and you cook it on low in your crock pot or on a stove top with cornbread, green bean casserole. Everyone knows that. All kinds of stuff can be made with green beans. Like if you can also put your leftover vegetables in a container and then make soup. So mixed vegetables, you can find those in the large cans. Potatoes, okay, I brought this one. So you don't want to be under any circumstances running out of potatoes. So if you pick up one of these every now and then, what I make with these is I might make this tonight, shish kebabs, and I put hot dogs, I cut them up, and then potatoes, and I roast them in a little, you put a little oil and you roast them, and then I put barbecue sauce on top of my sausages or hot dogs, and that is delicious. And you could have some green beans. And the other thing that this is good for is chorizo, egg, and potato burritos. So you fry your chorizo in a little oil, and then just a little bit, and then I move my chorizo over, and you cut your potatoes up and fry them, and then scramble your eggs on top, and then put it in a burrito. So these are perfect for that. There's all kinds of things you can make with this. Then I wanted to mention, when you find the markdowns cheap, pick them up. These are really delicious. Not good for carb because then you have a lot left over. So corn and tomatoes. So let me give you the list of this. You want to get the big cans. They have these big cans in Menudo, and when you can find them for $1, why wouldn't you? Well, if you do, you won't be one of these people running out of food. Fruit, vegetables, and bread. And if you stockpile up saltine crackers at the first of the month, biscuit mix and pancake mix, you're not going to run out of bread. You're not going to run out of bread anyway, because you're going to go to Walmart and buy those big loads of French bread or buy markdown bread. You're not going to run out of food. That's not an option. You can get very hungry. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that is not a damn joke. But if you live in California and you have like no utilities, no food, you're looking at homelessness, call 211. Then the other thing is listen up. I mean, I spent the last 30 years trying to help people. La 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 la. And you know, they're not listening. Okay, you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.